Because he plays with bottles, so he'll like make a ton of noise.
Welcome to GUAT News.
Made for gamers by gamers.
Today's topic is bad parenting, and those parents are British parents. So, our little thing here is a child whose parents were obsessed with video games was reportedly taken into care.
Everything's a blooper.
Social workers were apparently forced to intervene after the parents' gaming habits were seen as negligent towards the youngster. Actually, that says neglect, but oh well.
They're the same thing, honestly.
According to an investigation by The Sun, which is somebody or some news area in Britain, obviously, the child was taken away from its family home by social services at Walsall Council earlier this month. That's the month of August. Earlier this year, the Nantwich Education Partnership, made up of 15 primary schools and one secondary academy in Cheshire, warned parents who allowed their children to play games such as Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto would be reported to police and social services for neglect. So we're going to pounce on that topic right now. Our parents all let us play games. I have a stack of games right there, right behind us if Nick wants to grab those, that almost all of them are either Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed,
Black Ops 2, First Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 3, Revelations, Ghosts, MW3, and Modern Warfare.
and so
And also for PS4, he's got Battlefield and Diablo.
And these games are actually games that we would play. Like, I played Medal of Honor when I was a kid. That was probably... You played Medal of Honor?
I played Medal of Honor.
That game was shit.
It was shit, but...
It was shit, but that's how we started.
All the games back then were World War II. D-Day reenactments.
Well, our point is that, like, it's not
neglect. It's more of... They just don't, like...
Care.
No, it's not they don't care.
I think it's one of those things where it's like...
It's a social activity.
Younger kids want to play games that older people are playing.
Yeah.
The problem... All older people are playing these first-person shooter games that all just happen to be rated M. If these games were rated T, parents wouldn't say a word.
And see, one thing you guys don't see on here is Splatoon. Splatoon is a new game that has come out this year by Nintendo. It's on the Wii U. And you're a squid, and you're inking the place. But what happens when the thing dies? It explodes and dies with paint all over it. That's the same thing as if I shoot somebody and money pops out, like in Call of Duty, or if blood splatters some places. Like, yeah, there are games like Gears of War that you can run up and like chainsaw a guy in half, and there's blood all over your screen.
But you have to remember, most kids can realize the difference between a video game and real life. This is just a bunch of parents completely overreacting to a game.
So, in a letter that the heads said the video games could increase early sexualized behaviors, which, like, if you block a kid from playing video games, he's going to watch porn. Like, or he's going to figure out another way to do it. And the advice was in line with local authority policy and concerns. The letter says Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Dogs of War, which...
Never heard of.
Never,
yeah.
That was a UK only game.
Yeah. And other similar games are all inappropriate for children, and they should not have access to them. Nor should they have Facebook accounts or interact on sites or media or messaging sites like WhatsApp that are not designed for their age. They're not designed for their age. They're not designed for any age. Like... They're designed...
The game is designed to simulate...
You do got 6-year-olds nowadays who have cell phones or Snapchatting nudes to each other.
Every kid now has an iPhone, which is ridiculous, but they do.
Because, like, I didn't get my first smartphone until, like... What was it?
Now, on
Probably 7th grade, 8th grade?
On this topic, I played COD 4 when I was 9.
That is also
I did not get my first smartphone until I was... Just before we actually went into freshman year of high school. I had the phone where it slid up.
Kids
the
are
keyboard.
playing these games younger and younger because media has become more and more prevalent in every way, which is
and
why...
like if you look at it now, we have like CS:GO that has tournaments that people get paid to play video games, so kids see that they're like, oh yeah, I want to play
kids
video
see
games
this
to
and they
make
think it's
money.
really cool. I want to play this game.
Or games like Call of Duty that also have that feature, but like
First-person shooters were built to simulate what it'd be like to go to war for those who don't want to.
yeah, it's not made so you can train somebody to kill people.
And I think it's...
I mean, there is some controversy. If you remember, Modern Warfare 2, early in the campaign, you massacre a bunch of innocent civilians in an airport, and that's what inspires people. And of course, Call of Duty games apparently was one of the motives. The Call of Duty game inspired the guy who did the shooting in Newtown, Connecticut a couple years ago.
Well, the problem is, real-life shootings are always going to be blamed by virtual shooter games.
Well,
And they found evidence of
actually,
Newtown.
if you figure it out, that anytime there's a mass murder or something that happened, there's at least one thing that people blame on media.
Yeah, well, most video games will typically be similar, but the game could be released so much beforehand that it's...
Or it could be
There's
a
nothing
game that
the
was
game
released like in the same time zone. They're like, oh yeah, I played
And they
that.
blame it because...
So, after it says that they shouldn't have Facebook accounts, it says Call of Duty allows players to take on the role of a bloodthirsty soldier. So, I'm going to take this into account. It's not bloodthirsty soldier. You're playing a scenario that, yes, you kill people, you blow stuff up, or
You're in war, though. You gotta defend
you're-
yourself.
Yeah, but you're not bloodthirsty. Like, how do you even get the thing from
That's wrong.
bloodthirsty?
That whoever wrote this article is just wrongfully assuming that every soldier is bloodthirsty when they're not.
Yeah.
That's just not how it is. Nothing in the game implies they're bloodthirsty in any way.
And then it says in violent scenarios. Sometimes they're violent, sometimes they're not, depending on what you're playing.
War is just violent.
Yeah.
It just is. There's no way to make a game about war where it's not going to be violent. You just can't do it.
Let me steer away from the whole idea of Call of Duty and just being in war and first-person shooter, and go to the Grand Theft Auto aspect of it, where you get the idea of, like, you can be a regular civilian who just pulls out a gun and shoots a large group of people, and that's what people get motives for that stuff from as
people
well.
blame Grand Theft Auto, but, like, it's a game. Do you know, like, aren't very many people who are even going to ever consider this because it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's like you commit a massacre in Grand Theft Auto while you're just roaming around. You drive away, lose the police, you come back like 2 minutes later, there's nobody there. It's back to normal. They don't really give a shit.
And another thing it says here that they have an arsenal of things, including rifles, pistols, and grenades. Like, yeah, that's the point. You want to have different things to use, but I wouldn't call it an arsenal.
That's just what every typical soldier has.
Yeah.
It's not like they're not putting some new super weapon in the game. It's just the basics that every soldier are given. What else does that article have to say?
Well, it says that Grand Theft Auto is well known for its violence, which includes carjacking, gambling, killing, and simulated sex with prostitutes, which I agree to.
Well, yes,
it happens,
they
but
never actually show that. It's just implied that it happened.
But other games have gambling and
Yeah, it's just
killing.
because
Well,
Grand
here-
Theft Auto is like
gambling,
Big thing.
killing, and simulated sex. The Witcher has all of them, plus carjacking.
God of War has God of War has actual sex, honestly.
Yeah. And then,
Other games
So it's
have these. It's just
and according to The Sun, 2 children in Walsall and 1 in Devon were also taken into care over the past month for having bad teeth. Like, I don't know people who play video games
I
and
don't
get bad
understand
teeth.
like how
That makes no sense.
I think that's just
Are they coming from the
That's
point
just
of view
stupid.
where... Like, are they coming from the point of view where they feel like their kids are sitting in the front of the TV waiting so long they just don't get up and brush their teeth and they think that's what it's all about?
is it like
Even if you don't
I
brush your
can't
teeth, your teeth don't get that bad.
well see we don't know how bad their teeth were, but I'm assuming like
I don't
They were
know.
worse before.
I don't know what the hell the point of that section of the article
well
is.
see
even
over
about.
time if you don't it's not really like
Like,
if
how-
your teeth get messed up, that's your fault.
How does
Yeah.
violence cause tooth decay is my first thing.
See, and
It
then
doesn't. It's just
And then another thing in this article was about Oh, it was about people were getting removed. 10 kids were removed from their parents due to smoking. How does that help anything?
I think just UK law. Oh my god.
Everything's a blooper. Well, I think that explains something.
4 were in Southampton.
Oh.
3 were in Bradford.
Well, I'm gonna regret everything is a blooper, guys.
And 2 were in Lancashire.
I think the UK, they have so many rules over there that are just so ridiculous.
Please don't start a war, Britain.
That don't make it. No, I just don't understand, because a lot of these things are just
See, another thing,
ridiculous. They don't have any, they're completely unrelated to this stuff.
And there's now more pressure on parents and on teachers and on social workers to report concerns about children after David Cameron announced they could face up to 5 years in prison if they do not speak about the suspicions children are neglected or abused. See, I don't know how that even consists with video games.
I don't think this has anything to do with video games. I think they're just...
I feel like they were ranting about video games like a lot of people do.
And they took it too far.
Well, they were blaming video games, and then they thought, oh, hey, we're going to add this stuff in the bottom to make it look a lot worse than it is. And when I was reading this, I was like, smoking, bad teeth, that sounds like all stuff from parental neglect, not video games.
I think they started on video games and then turned to a completely different topic, because bad teeth and smoking, I agree, have nothing to do with video games.
Yeah.
In any way. That's just silly.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, video games, I mean...
if you drink a lot of Mountain Dew or pop while you're playing video games, you could get bad teeth. But a lot of times people will drink pop.
Well, that's under the assumption that you don't brush your teeth for weeks on end, which is just disgusting.
Even if you don't, most people will chew gum that more or less some gums now do the same thing.
Honestly, your teeth can decay from almost anything that you put in your mouth.
Yeah. Anything except, even water, because water could have acids in it or minerals.
So I guess the better way to put it, video games do a lot of things, but I think what they're saying is just ridiculous because...
See, and I think another thing, they help you build social skills. Yes, you can see all these things about people, yelling and screaming, but once you find a good group of people to play with, that's how you figure out when you're playing. You're like, oh, hey, go this way, flank them from this side, I'll go in and take the flag. Things like that, I think, make it better.
I think people just give people just put a bad rap on video games because they'll see any kind of shooting, they'll blame Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto.
Or any game that now.
Yes, I will say the Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty series are both controversial in some ways, but the problem is anything can drive a person to do something like that. You don't know. You have to know the person to understand why they did it.
Any other thoughts, Nick?
I was about to say something, let me think for a second. Oh yeah, I think with this article that they were trying to make a valid argument about how video games and violence is taking a toll, how it might maybe taking a toll on how people act in real life and kinds of things they do. But then towards the end, when they get into the tooth decay and the smoking, they're just making stuff up just so it could go on for longer. Yeah. They can just drive a point. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so they can get more things.
It went from a sort of sensible argument to a completely unsensible argument.
It honestly looks like they started an argument it looked like they started a somewhat sensible argument with the Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty, but when they went off into tooth decay and that sort of stuff, it's this has nothing to do with... I'm sorry, video games don't... just playing a game does not rot your teeth.
Yeah.
That's just silly.
They went from starting to try to make a valid argument, and their argument was supporting something that doesn't even make sense in the first place. And then they just started pulling stuff out of their ass because they didn't know what else to talk about.
Alright, guys.
So, for Mr. Cameron, all I have to say is 5 years in prison for that against some social worker, that's just ridiculous. I think that was not... That's just silly.
Alright, thanks guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it. You can check out our previous videos in our playlist that we have for GUAT News. GUAT News, that sounds cool. And you guys check out our other links at Rise Up Vlogs and HankofWisdom.
Notifications will be somewhere right here.
Yeah, somewhere around this area. We guys hope you guys have a good day, and check out our Let's Play videos for Rocket League that we'll be posting soon.
And also make sure to check out our main channel on Shot in the Eye Gaming. We continue to upload Season 2 of Yogcraft.
Fuck.
And
oh my god.
more mini golfing videos.